Gilles Babinet, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been setting up startups since 30 years. My first company was in building constructions. Then I had a company in industrial design. Then I have set up several startups in the digital field in general. I'm self-taught, which means that I didn't go to university. Most of what I've learned, including speaking English, is by myself. And it was my entire journey which brought me to learn to code, to speak, to negotiate, to do business in general. That's my story. I believe my main obstacle was having the right connection. Whatever you want to do, you need to have both mentors, people who can advise you on the best strategy you should follow, and experts, people who can help you to develop what you want to do. And those two are difficult to find, especially if you are coming from abroad, from your native country, or if you are into a minority group. So therefore, it's very important to be part of a, I would say, associations, or I would say training group that can help you to better understand what you want to do and to give you advices to where you can find resources and support to develop your idea. Per my experience, I had two places which helped me a lot, tremendously. The first one was a coding school. I had some contact into this school, and I visited this school very often, and progressively I managed to have good ties with the teachers, and some helped me to find some resources. So that was really important to me, and I invite you to get in touch with some of these schools. The second aspect probably was clubs of entrepreneurs, places where you can find peers and people who have experienced the same difficulties than the one you are having. So these two types of clubs, of networks, are the one which helped me and which I believe could help you as well. I just told you that I was self-taught, so you may think that I'm a hero or whatever, but the true reality is that I'm coming from a very well-integrated family, wealthy family in France. So therefore, it's great, but it's not that great. I'm not coming from the suburb or the ghetto or a foreign country or whatever, and it was much simpler for me to do that, even though I was self-taught, than if I had, I would say, a degree from a big university or another type of advantage that most of my competitors had. But I believe that the one sure thing which is important is to be able to really weave, to navigate into the ecosystem in the best way. So it's important to speak well, to be able to have some trust, some confidence in the way you engage with others. And therefore, the key skill I would recommend you to do, which to me was very important, is to do some theater, to do some courses of the way you express yourself, the way you move, the way you interact with people. It's great. It's wonderful because you gain trust, and the more you gain trust, the more you create value for your venture. The first thing I believe we should do is to have some initiative, mostly institutional, to break the ice in between, I would say, the incumbents and the newcomers, and meaning that you have the well-established entrepreneurs who are, having most of the cake, and they should leave a place for newcomers, and therefore to have platforms where they can exchange and I would say mingle, share new ideas, innovation, and whatever. It exists in some countries. It's very common, for instance, in the UK, as far as I can see. It's probably less common in France. In some other country, it could be more common. But I believe that the one thing which helps to both create the network, help to create confidence, and overall create value.